AskReddit by deleted. What changed the most for you after COVID hit? It's shocking how cost of life changed after COVID. I make twice as much money now as I did before COVID. It's definitely an improvement, but not as much as it should have been. I'm definitely not struggling, but I would have been thriving if I had this paycheck in the pre-COVID world. Nothing is open 24/7 anymore. Not just this, but even places that used to close, that adjusted hours never went back. All grocery stores near me still close the 1-2 hours before they used to. It's annoying. Constant anxiety and depression. Strangely, COVID motivated me to finally combat my anxiety and depression. It's not gone, but I've come a long way. Good luck on your struggles, my friend. It's never too late to start. It showed how hypocritical the government was with the selective enforcement of the mandates. A restaurant owner in California was barred from having outdoor dining, so she could keep her business afloat. Meanwhile, a production company was allowed to use the parking lot her restaurant was located in to set up catering tents. A comic shop owner in Florida was arrested for delivering comics and cards to his customers, pizza guy style. Amazon was open throughout the pandemic with hundreds of stores and thousands of workers. No one was arrested. All the mom and pop shops closing and big box corpo filing for aid. Absolutely atrocious. Deleted. Now I'm back in an office. On virtual meetings. Fuck this. The economy has never recovered, and now we're in an endless loop of overpaying for everything. The large retail organizations have all seen their market cap triple since COVID. It's a disgrace. They took advantage of supply chain disruptions and used the current war climate to continue hiking goods well beyond what should be deemed necessary. How does it end? When does the straw break the camel's back? I started cooking a lot. Before COVID, I'd buy lots of frozen fries, pizzas or meals along with cans of soup and whatnot. Now I've learned how to cook actual healthy and tasty meals. I've saved thousands on groceries over the last few years and have started eating way healthier than before. Same. At the start of the lockdown, I resolved to cook one new recipe a week. I quickly switched that to one per month, but even still I went from eating out for 50% of my meals to only doing it 1-3 times per week. Socializing. I used to enjoy going out. Hanging out with friends at parties. Being around people in general. After the isolation of lockdowns, I can't stand being around groups of people for more than an hour or so. I much prefer hanging out at home these days. I was already an introvert that has been dialed up to the point that it's almost neurotic. I am positive that it contributes to my general anxiety. My weight. I was at 340 around the time of COVID. At the end of COVID, I was at 385. Luckily now I'm down to 319 since my heaviest at 385 in June. My view on people. People's general attitudes and interaction changed drastically. Regardless of how you feel about COVID policy, vaccination, masks, etc. People were so damn quick to turn against their neighbor. If shit ever really does hit the fan in this country, then everyone is fucked. This has been so disheartening. For the first week or so, there was a we're all in this together sense of camaraderie, which went completely out the window as public health became more and more politicized. The loss of family, both literally and relationally. Yep. My mom died. Not from contracting COVID, but waiting too long to have her tumor looked at. Family members and friends dying. Also not knowing they died, and until months later. Deleted. My bio mom's husband, who I actually do love dearly, he was so accepting of me when I popped up after 23 years, was always a bit of a conspiracy nut, chemtrails and such, but yeah, this popped him into overdrive. I did manage to get him off the 5G ledge by showing him an actual 5G antenna's guts. I just divert the conversations, unfortunately, while he won't mask to save his life, nearly literally once. He doesn't give me or my daughter grief when we wear masks over there. I worked in a supermarket throughout COVID, still do. I used to take the unsold flowers home at night and leave them on my neighbor's doorsteps. I lived in a predominantly pensioners area. I made a lot of garden friends and was able to get shopping etc for them as I was allowed out for work. I was very saddened to find out that many of my neighbors were completely alone, as was I. My job kept me busy and helping my neighbors made me feel useful. I lived in a very remote area in Scotland. You're a very kind person. Good for you. Realizing that so many people are selfish pricks and don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. I regret that the virus wasn't deadlier. Wife wanted a divorce. Moved back to my home state. Guess she lost her sense of taste. I'm hybrid remote for work, meaning I can work there or at home as I see fit unless I am required to be there. I can't manage to go to work in person anymore unless it's required, but I realize I actually miss it. Over the summer, I had to serve on jury duty, and it was my first experience doing anything like a real go-to-work job since the pandemic. I was really surprised how much I actually enjoyed getting up early, going to work with the same group of people every day, working on a project together, and talking about it. The whole experience was 2 weeks long, if that, and by the end we were all watching the same TV show so we could talk about it, following up with their family's health problems, and even helping a woman plan her wedding. I can go into work as often as I want, but I rarely feel motivated unless I have a meeting or something else that requires that I'm there. The difference in time from now back to 2020 still feels shorter than the difference between 2018 to 2020. It's inexplainable to me, but I still feel the same age I was when everything shut down. Right, 2020 to now feels like it went by faster than the whole of 2019. It's baffling. I really miss my monthly lunch at the all-you-can-eat Indian buffet. My health. COVID wrecked my body. CNS inflammation, heart damage, lung damage, some hearing loss, some vision loss, energy levels destroyed. Long COVID sucks. It took me 2 years before I could get out and about and work all day. It's been 4 years, and I still hurt like hell every time I try to get up and do something. I was in pretty good shape, the best I've been in my entire life. Now I'm at 270. I eat 1 meal a day, nothing bad, get as much exercise as I can while managing pain. There's no way I can lose this weight. I used to pretty good remembering numbers. I can look up numbers at work, somebody asks me 5 minutes later and I've already forgotten them. My asthma is worse as well. Deleted. Everything is so much more political. Identity politics has become so much more defining. My illusion of Murica having a chance to improve from the idiocracy loop it is stuck in totally disappeared. Yeah, it's only going to get worse, and not just in Murica, everywhere. Social media is making sure of that. Well, I got single after a 10-year relationship, so that's nice, I guess. We both got laid off from our corporate jobs, but then we opened our own business, and life has been fantastic since. We should have done this 10 years before. We're never going back to corporate life. What does your business do? I became a homebody and more introverted after COVID. Not that I used to go out a lot, but it was certainly much more than I do now. Same for me.